Hey guys, it's Rush. Battleofglory.com lets you earn real-life money with their World of Tanks tournaments. If you'd like the chance to earn prizes upwards of 250 euros by playing World of Tanks, sign up with the referral link down in the description. Alrighty, so this is a game that I played on Fisherman's Bay, and this is probably the most requested map that I've ever really had in the future of my channel as far as advice. Now, I'll be honest, it's a very difficult map to play, especially when you're in a situation like I am here. So what I'm doing in this case is I'm trying something out because the typical play E6 doesn't seem to be working, especially when you're in an all tier 10 game. It just, for whatever reason, well, I think it's because everyone started to go there, so it becomes really difficult to do well. Now, what you can see me doing is I'm trying something new. Now, this is not advice, like I would not suggest you do this yet, but I'm just sharing my thoughts with you. I'm going to this position, and the logic behind it is I expect to be able to maybe shoot at their TDs, which they have 2, and maybe we can win the 1 line or something, which actually is really helpful, because the 1 line, if you can get up to K2, really helps with winning like the middle, because you can put shots into the rear of people where the 50B is. So that's this position right here, and that's sort of the strategy behind taking this position, and you're going to see that's going to play out. Now, like I said, I haven't done this like often. This is the first time I've taken this position right off the bat, but you know, you're going to watch it work. So the reason this position is working, well, first of all, you can see I'm getting shots. And I'm just doing this the typical way you would when you're hull down. You zoom in before you poke on someone so you can actually aim. You follow them, and then the second you get a shot, you take the shot to try to minimize your exposure. Now, I noticed that we're pushing the 1 line, and I also noticed that we've only got 2 vehicles in the city. So I am in this position still because I want to support that 1 line push. We need to win the 1 line as far as I'm concerned, because otherwise we're probably going to lose the cities. So that's the perspective that I have right now. And you can see I'm just sort of positioning myself right here at E3 to get shots on people. Now, there is bushes, and I am playing it hull down. I want to be safe because, you know, typically there's like a grill in the area of the E5. I don't want to get hit by the grill or whatever. I can't even see him on the map right now. So at this point in time, you know, you would be reasonable to assume that there's a grill in J2, and you just want to be mindful of that when you're playing this area. Use the bushes, stay hull down, etc., etc. So that's the situation right here. If you look at the map, it's much of the same, like nothing's really progressed. They actually have a bat shot that's pushed the city for whatever reason, but there you have it. Now, I do notice that. You can say I look back, I'm looking at the bat shot. It doesn't really concern me because I do want us to win the 1 line, but what's going to happen is they're going to start pushing the city, so I'm going to flex back to do that. Now, that's one of the advantages of the middle, but really you can see right now we're still in the middle stages of the game. Nothing has progressed. There's just people poking, losing their hit points on purpose, you know, and you can take advantage of that. You have to be patient at this stage. However, you're going to notice there is something that is happening in the city, and we're sort of making headway on the 1 line. Now, at this point in time, I decide to leave the 1 line to help out the city, and we've got 3 vehicles over there. They've got a 57 and a bat shot. Now, the reason I'm doing this is sort of cost to risk, I guess. It's not really for the win, but you're going to notice, like, if I were to push up into this bowl right here to, you know, support, I'd probably get YOLO'd by a bat shot. So this is me adapting to, you know, my new fame or whatever. I wouldn't suggest you go to G3 often because it's very common, especially if you're purple in Maho or, you know, in any sort of high-end clan, for you to get rushed as you just sit in G3 and, you know, your teammates are just going to sort of watch you die. So what you can see me doing is I'm taking the safe play. I'm defending because I know there's a 57. No one's really going to be able to shoot me while I'm here. Obviously, they could shoot me from the mid. That's actually going to happen, but realistically, this is a safe position, all things considered. So you can see I'm doing that, and it's just because it's a safe way to get a lot of damage. Now, what's going to happen is I'm going to get hit by the Panzer 7. You're going to notice I don't fall back immediately, and the reason I do this is because he just shot me. I know he's reloading. There's very little risk, so I took advantage of his reload and just sort of sat in the open, in the apparent open, but because no one was aiming at me, that was fine. Now, we've started to push the 1 line, so this is really awesome. This is how this map plays out. If you can win the 1 line, I mean, if you can win the city, it's also great, but if you can win the 1 line, what you do is you get up to K2, you shoot the middle and the ass, and that's really powerful. It also helps if you have someone in my location and the E5's location, because now we're sort of surrounding them. They've got nothing they can do. So the score is relatively close right now. They do have some HP, but you're going to notice that by pushing in, we're going to effectively kill, you know, the Panzer 7, and the 2 140s, the M48, the 121, etc. Like, anyone who's in this area and unable to escape will die, because the only way they can run away is by pushing down the K line. all the way into their base. So they're locked off, and my position sort of secures that, and that's why I'm here. It's really, really beneficial. And then, as you saw, if I saw something progressing in the city, I can just drive over to there. So that's me selling this position. You can see this Panzer VII's having to deal with people from two different angles. You know, I'm the guy on the flanking position, and then he was facing my teammates, and so you can see that's what this position allows us to do. And very, very quickly, because we've managed to push the 2 line, we're going to turn this into like a 15-0. So that's how this happens. I often say 15-0 games happen when you win one side and then you can't, I don't know how to describe this, but they haven't pushed the city, basically. So they have no map control. We've pushed the 1 line, and so effectively they're cordoned off into this 25% of the map or whatever, and so they've basically lost it, and that's just because we managed to push the 2 line. So I think whatever side you can push, especially on a map like this, is very valuable. Lately, it's been that everyone plays the city and the mid, and they'll play the eastern side of the middle, so it's very hard to actually make headway on the city. So the 1 line seems to be opening up as the meta changes, and that's, you know, that's just sort of what seems to be happening given the world of the way people play this game. So here you go. I mean, the game's clearly over. It's just me sort of chasing damage and missing a couple shots and whatnot. The 113's to my side. I missed the shot on him, but really, there's not much more to see. You can see we're just using the middle that we've won for ourselves. The Gorill's inevitably going to die, and, you know, everyone dies, and that's the happy ending. So we'll go take a look at a map tactic. I'll try to draw it out for you, and we'll also take a look at the end plates. All right, so obviously, like I said, this isn't set in stone. This was the first time I tried this position, and it seemed to work okay. What you can see happened is I drove up to... I need the pinger. I should erase this. But what you can see happened is I drove up to E3. Now, what that did is that gave me shots on these people because they were there for whatever reason. I wouldn't expect that normally. Like, most people won't just sit here, I think. I would guess, because it's not a very good play to just sit here in a 50B or whatever, but that's what happened in this game. And then you can see we sort of used this position to support the 1 line. We were able to get shots onto the camping red TDs and whatnot, and mediums, but I'll classify them as TDs because they were camping. We were able to get shots on the 1 line from where we were over here, and then that, you know, we got shots like so, and then that allowed our team to sort of push up, and we were able to do something like this. We got our teammates up to this location. And so what that allows them to do is it lets them put shots like this and shots like this. Now, the enemy will typically run away to this area because there's a bit of a ridge that protects them from these teammates at K2, but that seems to be like what happens on this map. Once they've sort of given up this 1 line, you're flanking them so hard that their only option is to like retreat to here. And if they haven't pushed through the city, which hasn't been happening in the meta recently because everyone just sort of faps around right there, you know, they're sort of screwed because they're cordoned off. Like I said in my video, they're cordoned off to this 25% of the map, and what can they do? So that's seems to be how this map is played. It's like if you can win the 1-2 line, which seems to be sort of easy, especially if you have E100s playing the 1 line, it seems to be relatively powerful. So you know, that's my thoughts on the map. I think this position's great because you have a lot that you can do from it. It's very easy to affect multiple sides of the map, and it supports a 1-line push, which seems to be a lot more effective at winning games than it used to be. Because what used to happen is there used to be like 8 TDs per team, and all TDs would sit up here, and then, you know, the good players would avoid all those camping morons who just sit here for extensive periods of time, and they just take advantage of it and drive through the city. So that's what used to happen, but it seems like people all just sort of play this area, and that's the new camp spot. So it seems to be that things get done over here, which is sort of costly because TDs will snipe or whatever, but, you know, you can take advantage of it by playing here and sort of not fighting the TDs head on. So that'd be my advice. Let's go look at the end plates and we'll call it from there. Alrighty, so as you can see, Mastery Badge First Class, 1716 XP with Premium, High Caliber, 76k credits, 6,267 damage, so I hit a blind shot on the bat shot, I think, 4 kills, 1144 base, and I ended up making credits despite running out of APCR and having to shoot heat. So that's the game. I hope this video was helpful. If you want to see more, be sure to hit the like and the subscribe button, and I hope to see you around. Later, guys. Bye-bye.